Let's get one thing straight. Our songs were better. My name is Pizzazz, and any of you with an eye for talent will recognize me as the superstar leader of the Misfits. During the 80s, we were unstoppable, topping the charts, and no one dared to challenge us. Well, there was one band some nobodies called the Holograms, but despite having the musical talent of a dolphin, trapped in plastic, people still bought their records. But then she went on Drag Race Toontown and flopped, so I decided to apply and show the world what true girl group talent looks like. And Jem, I know you're watching, so enjoy your last few weeks of stardom. Because once this is over, everyone will be flocking over to the Misfits fanbase. First one in? I know that's right. Well, let's see the quote-unquote competition.
Sorry girls, but all roads lead to the crown. My name is Alexis Rhodes, and I am Dual Academy's top student. I am a professional. I can do it all. I'm a dancer. I can serve a look. I can act, and of course I can serve a lip sync, so whatever challenges await me, bring it. We've had a couple of UGO girls before, but sadly, they just didn't bring the fire I know they have in them to the competition. So I'm here to represent and show the world that Dual Academy has what it takes, and trust, I won't live without that crown.
Alexis goes over and starts talking to Pizzazz. Pizzazz looks at her and tells her she'll have a pumpkin spice latte with whipped cream and a shot of espresso before telling her they should bring her food if she has to wait this long for the other queens. Alexis tells her she doesn't work here and that she's competing too, at which point Pizzazz starts laughing.
She's not an intern, come through charity store drag. They spent more on the budget for cartoon Drag Race Season 1 than her entire wardrobe.
Drag is a game, and I always win. My name is Evil Lynn, and I promise you, I'm one of the nicest queens you'll ever meet. My drag is very high fashion, very mystical, but I would say my most valued asset is my mind. I think these other queens had better keep one eye open around me. Not that I would actually do anything, of course.
Seeing Lynn enter the workroom, Pizzazz turns to Alexis and tells her she's surprised they let her out of the home.
Pizzazz is really trying to be that girl when it's way too soon for her to start running her mouth, so I hope she has something to back all that talk up. I mean, besides her failed music career, of course.
Alexis goes to meet Evil Lynn and helps her over to the work table. Pizzazz calls out that it looks like a Girl Scout helping her grandmother cross the road. As Evil Lynn prepares to sit down, Pizzazz reaches for her chair, trying to pull it out from underneath her, only for Evil Lynn to grab her arm, pulling her off her chair and onto the floor instead.
So many queens look at me and think I'm the sweet old lady type queen. Ha, you don't get to do drag this long if you're a nice bitch. But I'll keep playing that act up for as long as the other queens will buy it.
Are you ready for a magic show? My name is Scarlet Witch, and I am the magical bitch of the season. I would describe my drag as powerful, polished, and a little bit spooky. I'm not an official member of the Haunted House of Drag, but I did meet their leader. All stars for winner Thorn, who called me both an honorary and literal hex girl, so I know they will be watching me this season, and I don't plan on letting them down.
I came to this season expecting to be the only witchy queen here, but then this bitch walks in, trying to steal my spotlight. But it's alright, I plan on outlasting her one way or another.
Scarlet Witch walks over to the other queens and introduces herself to them. Evil Lynn asks her what she's good at to witch. Scarlet asks her to name something. Pizzazz responds, judging from that look, I'd say packing. Wanda shoots a look at Pizzazz before looking away and muttering, not worth my time.
Oh wow, I just stepped through the door and this bitch is already trying to come for me. Well girl, I've faced bigger threats than you day and night, both in and out of drag. I've been in this business a good while, and I've naturally got pretty thick skin, so it's not like a sly comment from Miss Stuck in the 80s cause she's desperately clinging on to her glory days. So she doesn't have to wake up and accept the music that no one loves her is going to bother me.
I feel bad for Scarlet, but it's also painfully obvious how affected she is by that comment. In this business, you need to have thick skin, and if that comment was all it took to get to her, I'm worried about her chances going forwards in the competition.
I can see Pizzazz's comments really got under her skin. I was planning on dropping some shade myself, but now I don't have to. Perhaps Pizzazz can be of some use to me in this competition. She doesn't seem too bright, and she loves to cause trouble. While she's here, I can have her do my dirty work and still maintain my sweet old lady charade.
I'm looking around the workroom and all I can see are filler queens. Here's hoping the next queen to walk in is actually worth my talent.
Don't worry everyone, Daddy's home. My name is Satoru Gojo. And no, you don't have to adjust your TV screens. I'm this hot in real life. But I'm not just a hot piece of ass. My drag is very versatile. I can dance, I can serve a look, and I'm very proficient in comedy. But let's be real, you didn't listen to a word I just said, did you? You're too busy gawking at your TV screens with your mouths open. Well, don't worry, I'll be here to bring the body week after week.
Oh my.
Hubba hubba.
Gojo goes to introduce himself to the other queens, causing Pizzazz to push past them, slamming Evil Lynn's face into the table and pushing Scarlet Witch to the floor as she runs over to him.
Oh, it looks like Pizzazz has a little crush. I think I just found my ticket into her good grades. Mark my words, she'll be eating out the palm of my hands by the end of the night.
Looks like I've got an admirer. To be honest, this kind of thing happens all the time. Men, women, and all those in between can't help but gawk at this. Trust me, with me on your set, people will be tuning in with their eyes on the screen and their hands in their pants.
Female phenomenon. She's an Amazon. My name is Tanya and I am the Amazon Queen of the Jungle. If I had to describe my drag in one word, it would be fierce. My drag is all about embracing one's inner warrior and pushing past all obstacles. Growing up as an Amazon, I was always taught to go for what I want and fight for it until it's mine, so the other girls better beware.
I know Tanya from back home, and I wouldn't necessarily say she's a bad person, but let's just say wherever she goes, drama follows. In other words, that bitch liked to fight.
Tanya walks over to the other queens. Pizzazz welcomes her before asking her which discount bin she grabbed her outfit from. Tanya laughs before telling Pizzazz that she loves her entrance look and asks her how it feels to be the first drag king on the show. Pizzazz tells Tanya if she wanted to see a drag king, all she had to do was look in the mirror, and that if she would have spotted the blemish on her cheek. Tanya tells her not to worry about her contour and that the vintage look Pizzazz is going for would have been better left in the 80s, alongside her failed music career.
Ugh, the girlies are fighting. Judge me all you want. But I'm a bit of a messy bitch who lives for drama.
Mama, I told you, I'm an Amazon. These bitches are small fry compared to the girls back home. I was raised by Amazon, so I do tend to have pretty thick skin, and I was raised to say things how it is, and I know not a lot of people like that, but to them I say, tough shit.
Tanya walks over to Gojo to introduce herself before seductively rubbing a finger on his chest. Pizzazz notices this and prepares to rush at her, but is stopped by Evil Lynn putting a hand on her arm.
Oops. Am I getting between her and her man? Honestly, I wish Evil Lynn hadn't stopped her. I would have loved an excuse to clock that bitch without getting disqualified.
Honestly, it's getting a bit too chaotic in here for my liking. Can the next bitch be someone sensible, please?
Big smiles, everyone. The Princess of Hell is here. Hello, my name is Charlie Morningstar, and I am the Princess of Hell. My hobbies include singing, dancing, putting on little puppet shows, reading, writing, cooking, cleaning, playing with puppies.
We don't have all day, keep it on topic.
Oh, right. My drag is very mystical, very much musical theatre, and is inspired by every single one of my fellow citizens in Hell. I am really looking forward to showing what we can do. One of my beloved subjects, Camilla Carmen, recently competed on season 11, and we are also proud of her and what she did. But I'm ready to show everyone what we can really do and make it to the finale. Trust me, I will bring that crown back to Hell.
Charlie goes to introduce herself to the other queens and tells each of them that she loves her entrance looks, going around each and everyone listing her favorite things about each of them.
My first thought meeting Charlie was thank God somebody normal, but it's been about 15 minutes and she just hasn't stopped talking. I genuinely don't think she's even taking a pause to breathe. It's a little scary.
Tanya interrupts Charlie to tell her she recognizes her from Verosicus socials, asking her if she knows her personally. Charlie responds affirmatively, stating that Verosika invited her to compete personally.
That's right, Verosika personally invited me to compete on this season to represent our hometown. When I got the call, I knew that I couldn't let everyone down and could also use the opportunity to spread the word about my husband hotel, a place where we work to redeem sinners. But maybe I can get some of these other queens to visit and drum up some extra publicity.
Charlie begins to go on and on about how excited she is to represent her hometown of Hell and all of the people waiting for her back home. Evil Lynn then turns to Charlie and tells her that she thinks she can hear a new queen entering in order to shut her up.
Thank God, some actual peace and quiet. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure she's a sweet kid, but I couldn't hear myself thinking there.
So let me get this straight. Our host personally invited this queen from the same place as her to compete on the first season? Whatever. I'm not worried. At the end of the day, nothing will stand between me and that crown. If I have to break a bitch's legs, I'll do it.
Don't worry, kids. Cool Aunt Lilf is here.
Oh my God, I love your outfit. Where did you get it? Is it homemade? You have got to make one for me.
Seriously? Lilith has just walked in and Charlie is already bombarding her with questions.
I get that Charlie just wants to make friends with everyone, but this is supposed to be Lilith's moment to introduce herself to the world, and Charlie is taking that moment away from her.
Alexis grabs Charlie by the shoulders and subtly walks her back to the table while asking Lilith some questions about herself so she can introduce herself and her drag. Lilith introduces herself and tells them a bit about her background, dropping that she's only been doing drag for about 6 months. Pizzazz tells her it shows.
Oh, I have to introduce myself. Well, my name is Lilith, and I'm from the Boiling Isles. Oh, you need more? Well, I've been doing drag for about 6 months thanks to my wonderful sister Ida, who is the head of the well-known Bad Girl Coven. I would say that my drag family is very well known for our unique fashion. We're very design heavy. We tend to sew our own looks and we usually have to use what we have on hand.
Lilith seems absolutely terrified. We really went straight from Miss Talks a lot to Miss Never Talks at all.
Are you ready for a glitch in the system? Hello world. My name is Lucy and I'm the cyberpunk drag queen of the future. I'm here to push boundaries and bring drag into the next generation. I would describe my drag as a message of rebellion and anarchy and hope that it inspires people. I blend high fashion with futuristic cyberpunk aesthetics. It's electrifying.
Charlie attempts to go over to Lucy but is stopped by Alexis grabbing her wrist. She shouts over to Lucy how much she loves her outfit.
Oh wow, you're really... Let's go with observant, aren't you?
As soon as another queen walks in, Charlie has to spend the next 10 minutes talking about them. She's collecting friends, like Jem collects STDs. It's really annoying, but I get it. If I knew I had no shot at winning the crown, I'd go for Miss Congeniality too.
I'm ready to burn up the competition. My name's Flareon, and I'm so honored to be the first ever queen from the legendary House of Lucian to compete on Cartoon Drag Race, other than Mother of course. Pokemon queens have competed a few times, but out of all of them we stand highest. Our family is known worldwide for our high quality of drag, and I don't plan on letting them down this season. Especially since the Pokemon queens have been letting us down across the board, except for the Toontown girlies. So if they can win a crown, then you know the legendary House of Lucian can take one. I chose to compete on this show instead of Toontown because I need to show that Pokemon drag is valid everywhere, not just Toontown. I'm beginning to feel like I've said Toontown too many times.
Oh my God, hi. I'm Charlie, what's your name? I love this look. How long have you been doing drag? What type of queen are you? What's your specialty?
Does she ever shut up?
We don't know.
Charlie looks over at the other queens, hurt and upset by their response, and back to Flareon, before looking down at the floor. Flareon apologizes, stating that it was just a lot to deal with mere seconds after walking into the room.
I'll admit I could have handled that situation better, but in all fairness, I had only just walked in that room, and while I've only known her a hot minute, based on how the other queens reacted, I'm guessing they were getting pretty tired of her too.
Alexis walks Charlie back over to the workbench and tells her that she gets she's excited, but maybe she needs to tone it down for the other queens. this competition is already gonna be a lot to deal with, so they want the entrées to be a little moment to relax before everything goes hectic, and you'll have plenty of time to get to know them later. Tanya adds that if she stays that long, causing the queens except Charlie and Alexis to laugh. Alexis opens her mouth to say something to Tanya before Gojo tells Flareon to properly introduce themselves. She tells them she's from the legendary House of Lucian and asks if any of the queens are scared to be competing against her.
House of who now? If your house was as legendary as you claim, I'm sure I would have heard of you.
Well, Miss Pizzazz, I wish I could say that I've never heard of you, but I've heard far too many amateur drag queens perform to one of your songs on open night. Let's just say I hope we don't have a girl group challenge this season, or if we do, then they at least have some good auto-tune for you.
Oh, darling, don't worry. When we get to the girl group challenge, you won't have to hear my lyrics. You can just turn off the TV volume when you get sent home and watch the rest of the season on the couch next to the rest of the House of Lotion.
Flareon opens their mouth and walks up to Pizzazz, but production tell the queens that the next arrival is here before they can say or do anything. Reluctantly, they back off.
This beautiful rose has thorns. My name is Inta Kamaki, and while I'm relatively new to the game of drag, I've already built a bit of a name for myself as a model, so most people will already know I'll be the fashion queen this season. I'm very at home on the runway, so I can't wait to show off my looks. I'm also a talented performer. I'm an amazing dancer, and I can serve sex for days. I definitely feel like I'm gonna be one to watch in this competition.
Anne walks over to the other queens to introduce herself before noticing Charlie looking down and upset. Anne goes up to her and tells her she likes her entrance look before asking her what inspired it and who made it. Charlie begins to get excited before remembering what Alexis told her and instead just mentions that she made it together with her girlfriend Vaggie, though she did most of the work while Vaggie mostly helped with the design.
I'm glad Charlie made a friend. I guess she's just trying to be nice, but she can be a lot, and hopefully with Anne here she can leave us all alone in the nicest way possible.
I see Charlie over there looking like she wants to say hi, but too shy to say anything, so of course I have to introduce myself. I know what it feels like to be an outcast, and I don't want her or any of the other queens to feel like that this season.
Don't worry, love. The cavalry's here. Do you really need an introduction? It's me, Tracer, the British icon, and soon-to-be first winner of Cartoon Drag Race World Tour. I may not have been doing drag for as long as some of these witches, but you can be sure that a hell of a lot more people know who I am than them. I don't want to say I'm the British equivalent of a certain someone, but quite frankly there's a lot of people who would. I can tell these other girls are gagged to be seeing me here, and honestly, they should be. Walk it.
Tracer walks over to the other girls who all scream with excitement to see her, except for Pizzazz, who looks unimpressed, and Evil Lynn, who looks annoyed.
Oh, my god. I applied to this show on a whim and never really considered the possibility I'd get accepted, let alone have to compete against the legendary British drag queen Tracer. The pressure is really on now.
Tracer is the only queen in this workroom whose reputation is on par with our drag house. I'm really gagged to see her, and I already know she's going to be tough competition to beat.
I'm sorry, what's the big deal? She walks in and everyone's fawning over her like she's grandmother RuPaul herself. Well, sorry, but that tacky orange jumpsuit doesn't impress me, lady. And famous. Don't make me laugh. I've done more worldwide tours and sold out more shows that you could ever hope with your crusty dry wigs.
Tanya tells Tracer that she can't believe she's here and that they really saved the best for last. Lilith agrees and say this looks like one incredibly strong cast, and she can't wait to see what the first challenge will be. Anne says she hopes that it's a runway challenge so she can show off her looks. Wanda says that she hopes it's a talent show so she can see all the skills these girls can bring. Pizzazz says it doesn't matter what it is because she already knows she'll be good at it, causing the other girls to roll their eyes at her. Production interrupts to let them know there's one more queen to walk in.
Oh wow, I don't know who's walking in the workroom next, but Tracer is definitely going to be a hard act to follow. I can't wait to see which drag titan production has lined up for us.
I've been following Tracer's drag career for years. She's one of my drag inspirations, so I can't imagine any queen walking in after her being on the same level. I'm sure there'll be one strong queen, but they definitely have strong shoes to follow.
Good evening, furniture. You are in the presence of the Golden Witch Beatrice. Get down on your knees and bow to me, and perhaps I will bestow good fortune upon you.
I have absolutely no idea who this is.
Good evening, peasants. I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. Be grateful that I have decided to grace your screens with my presence. My drag is all about embracing the power of illusions. I love taking something tragic, twisted and broken, and turning it into high glamour. After all, what is drag but a glamorous masquerade?
So Beatrice walks in. The gown looks beautiful, but she's laughing and waltzing like the main character of a high-end opera. I just think it's a very interesting attitude to have when you walk in a room full of people wondering who you are.
Beatrice walks over to the other queens who greet her with various degrees of enthusiasm. Beatrice asks them if they are her audience for the evening, to which Evelyn responds that they are her competitors. Beatrice apologizes, saying she was confused by the pedestrian state of their drag. Pizzazz tells Beatrice she has a very inflated ego for a queen no one in this workroom has ever actually heard of, to which Tanya tells Pizzazz to go easy on her, as this is probably just a ploy for screen time because she knows that he won't last for more than one episode. Beatrice laughs, telling the other queens that she had hoped this wouldn't be boring, and tells all the other queens that if they think they can take her down and give it all they've got, and not to let her road to the crown be boring.
Within 5 minutes of walking in the workroom, Beatrice has already made an enemy of just about everyone here. Big mistake. Big. Huge.
Hello, sluts. You 13 have the honor of being the very first group to compete for the title of our first drag superstar. It will not be an easy journey, but eventually one of you will be crowned. And for your first ever Maxi Challenge, what better to start with than the Classic Design Challenge? Ladies, you'll be tasked with creating a new outfit from scratch that shows us the judges your signature drag. Oh, and ladies, in order to ensure all of you will be able to show off your charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, all of you will be given a box of the same materials, so be careful not to fade into the background. We want to see what makes you. So originality is key. Now good luck, and don't fuck it up.
I hear the first challenge is a design challenge, and I know damn well I'm not going home tonight. I'm an amazing designer and I make all my own outfits. Could I be the first Cartoon Drag Race World Tour Challenge winner? I think that's right.
Over at their workbench, Tanya, Lilith, and Flareon are all working on their outfits. Flareon asks the other two how they feel about the first challenge, to which Lilith replies that she's a little nervous because she knew she wasn't the best sewer, and ever since she got the call she's been practicing non-stop with help from her sister, so if she messes this up she knows she'll kill her. Flareon tells her she's thankful she actually learned how to sew before getting on, adding that any queen who doesn't know how to sew shouldn't even audition for the show. Tanya laughs, then tells her to wait a second before turning around to the rest of the queens and shouting, "Hey, just so we're clear, are there any bitches here that don't know how to sew?" The room goes silent and everyone responds that they do, except for Tracer, who stays silent. Tanya notices this and calls her out on this, to which Tracer responds that she knows how to sew, it's just been a while since she has. Flareon asks her how long, to which Tracer stays silent, trying to remember.
I do know how to sew. When I was a baby drag queen, I used to make all my looks. But now that I'm a big name queen, people expected more and more from me, to the point I've had to hire designers to make better high concept looks than I could ever possibly make, so it's been a good while since I've had time to sew even as a hobby.
Tracer has the biggest following and career out of all of us, and yet she comes in not knowing how to sew. The most basic thing every drag race queen should know? Vero Sicker. Send her home right now, honestly.
Charlie runs over to Tracer's workstation where her, Gojo, and Scarlet Witch are all working on their outfits, and tells her that if she needs some help she doesn't mind. Tracer responds that she just needs a little refresher course and Charlie begins walking her through things.
Charlie hasn't even begun working on her outfit yet, and she's out offering to help Tracer work on her outfit. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Evil Lynn asks Pizzazz how she's feeling about this challenge. Pizzazz replies that she's not worried at all, telling her there were times when the Misfits couldn't afford a designer because Daddy refused to pay for one, so they got used to making our own stuff from time to time. Evil Lynn then asks her how she's feeling without her bandmates around. Pizzazz tells her she's fine and she knows that she's more than capable of managing without them. Evil Lynn suggests creating a new clique while she's here. Pizzazz asks why would she do that if she doesn't need anybody's help. Evil Lynn tells her there's safety in numbers in this competition and it might help when a queen is giving out roles or picking the performance order. They could either give her a good role or a certain other queen a bad one. Pizzazz tells her she gets where she's coming from and suggests a temporary truce, declaring their first order of business should be knocking that Jezebel Tarzan out of the competition. Evil Lynn tells her to have patience and that it would be more beneficial to go after the other witch queens first, before they have a chance to ally. She then points over to Beatrice and Wanda's outfits, claiming they're two of the best looking ones so far, while Tanya looks like she's wearing the rags from a charity store, before implying that their interference may not even be necessary to get her knocked out.
Pizzazz is the perfect queen for me to ally with. All it takes is a few words and she's practically eating out the palm of my hand. I'll take her as far as she'll go and then dump her when she stops being useful.
Gojo asks Scarlet how her outfit is coming along and she responds that it's good, but she wants it to be spectacular because she knows the other queens are underestimating her and she wants to show them up. Gojo tells them that if she dwells on those comments then you're just making a dress you'll think they'll like instead of a dress that shows off your drag like the judges want, asking her to take a step back and ask herself if it's something she would normally wear. Gojo tells them that she shouldn't care what they think about her because the only people you should listen to in this competition are the judges, and even if they don't like something at least some of the fans watching will. At the other end of the table, Charlie is still helping Tracer on her outfit. Tracer tells Charlie she's really grateful for her help. Charlie tells her not to worry about it and that she'll take any opportunity to help a friend in need. Charlie then asks Tracer how she felt when she got casted for this competition. Tracer tells her coming into this competition she was really worried because she knew she had a lot of fans rooting for her and she was always conscious of letting them down when they likely expect a lot from her by now, and she also didn't want people to think she only got casted via her legend status, and there was a lot of pressure to prove she deserves her spot here just as much as anyone. Overhearing this, Gojo puts on a stern face and tells her that if she wants to truly prove she deserves her spot then she shouldn't accept Charlie's help, stating that would only prove her own merits aren't sufficient, and adding that even if sewing isn't her strongest suit, she still has a chance to prove herself in the lip sync. He then turns to Charlie and states that she also has people at home rooting for her and asks how she thinks they would feel if she threw her shot away and wasted months of preparation because she was too busy helping everyone else. Charlie begins to protest, but Tracer admits he's completely right and tells Charlie to return to her workbench. Charlie returns to her work table and begins to freak out, seeing everyone else's outfits and realizing how much time she spent helping Tracer. Anne, Alexis and Lucy jump in and offer to help, but Charlie tells them not to make the same mistake they did, to which Anne responds that they can't make that mistake because unlike her they've already started on their outfits. Alexis joins in telling her that they'll only help her make a start so she can catch up, and with the four of them working on it they should be done pretty quick, but after that it'll be up to her.
So after I'm done helping Charlie, I can't help but notice that some of my materials are missing. I'm in the endgame now, and the materials I have left aren't enough for what I've got planned. I don't have time to start again, so I'm not sure what to do.
What? It's not like she was using it. Plus, if you ask me, I did her a favor. Her dress already looked a mess, so by stealing her materials, I stopped her from making it worse and walking out the runway looking a bigger mess.
Welcome to the main stage of Cartoon Drag Race World Tour. Tonight on the judging panel, it's just family. Give it up for our resident co-hostess Elvira. Have you ever been on a world tour?
Let's just say I've had my baggage handled in quite a few airports.
Slut. Tonight our queens were tasked with creating an outfit in the workroom that sold and introduced us to their signature drag. Queens, start your engines and may the best drag performer win.
Scarlet Witch slayed the challenge.
As much as I hate to admit it, Pizzazz's comments really got under my skin earlier. I'm really glad Gojo and I had that conversation earlier so I could work on my outfit. I can see the judges are gagged, and honestly they should be.
Beatrice, Evil Lynn, Alexis Rose, and Flareon had a great performance.
I think I made a very strong first impression tonight. I need to show the judges that I've got my eyes on the crown, and I won't be another flop like some of the other Pokeman contestants.
Lilith, Gojo, Pizzazz, Tanya, Anne and Charlie had a good performance. Lucy had a bad performance.
After running out of materials in the workroom, I had to try and salvage the dress that I'd already made. I'm sure I didn't misplace anything, and I couldn't have used that much. I'm hoping the judges will realize this isn't my fault, and I won't be lip-syncing tonight.
Tracer flopped the challenge.
Alright sluts, I've made some decisions. Beatrice, Evelyn, Charlie Morningstar, Alexis Rhodes, Tracer, Lucy, Wanda. You represent the tops and the bottoms of the week. Everyone else you may leave the stage. But remember, a first impression counts. Try and step it up next week. Now it's time for the judges' critiques, starting with Beatrice. On Drag Race, you need to go big or go home, and this look tells me you like to go big.
This look is absolutely beautiful. You know, coming into this competition, I hadn't heard of you. And watching your audition tape, I was very surprised because you seemed right up my alley. You know, I love a dark, spooky queen, and you bring all that and a side of glam.
Your entrance look was beautiful, and this look is beautiful. But I'm also a bit conflicted. On one hand, I have somewhat of a feel for your drag. I can tell you're regal, elegant, dramatic, and of course magical, but I'm not sure I have a full read on who you are yet. It also doesn't help that this look and your entrance look were both gowns. Don't get me wrong, the fact that you constructed a gown with these materials is impressive, but it's hard to fully showcase yourself by doing the same thing over and over. Moving on, Evelyn.
Seeing you here makes me happy, not just because you're representing all us fellow witches, but you're also representing all us old bitches. So seeing you up here competing and showing these new kids how it's done really puts a smile on my face.
This look isn't quite as glamorous as some of the other queens, but what I love most about this look is the concept. You walked out on the runway tonight and told a story. You really sold us on this look tonight, which is also what the challenge asked of you. I think coming in as an older queen will really help you because by now you'll have a clear handle on who you are, and you showcased that tonight perfectly. Next up, Charlie Morningstar. If I'm being fully honest, this look is quite basic. It's not good, but it's not bad. But the biggest wrongdoing of this look is that it doesn't fit the brief. You were asked to sell us on your signature drag, and this doesn't tell us anything about you.
Not to mention, this look doesn't feel like there's a coherent plan here. It feels like a bunch of pieces from different outfits lumped together. I can at least see that you've tried to embellish it a little, which I appreciate, but it still feels like it was all done for the sake of it.
At the end of the day, if you put a little more thought and effort in, this look could have been a lot better. Alexis Rhodes. This look is amazing. I really don't know how else to describe it. It looks very polished, which isn't something I'd expect from you given your young age.
This feels like something I'd see on the runway at a fashion show. Especially with the way you presented yourself on that runway. I'm not usually one for white, but I feel like I would wear this. Actually, no, who am I kidding? Let's not go that far.
Everything feels extremely planned out. All the accessories are in all the right places. The shape fits your body perfectly. I can tell you knew what you were doing, and it's amazing. Be kind, rewind, it's Tracer. Tracer, you came here with a lot of buzz surrounding you, so I definitely feel really let down from this look tonight. The outfit looks great from the top half, but after that it looks like you just gave up. The rest of it doesn't go together at all and it looks shoddily constructed at best.
I will be fully honest with you all here. The top half of the outfit looks good because I had Charlie's help. Eventually, I realized that it was wrong of me to accept her help, and that's also why her outfit looks a bit unfinished today on the runway. I know that I am a sickening drag queen and I have what it takes to slay in this competition. So I am fully ready to lip sync tonight because I know that I need to prove myself not just to you but to my fellow queens and my fans. And I'm fully ready to send whoever I go up against home.
Well, that explains a lot. On one hand, I'm really glad you decided not to take the easy way out, but at the end of the day, I won't lie and say that I'm not pissed off you didn't take a sewing class before you got here. It's a lesson everyone should know by now, and seeing a big name like you ignore it is actually a little frustrating.
But with that said, I'm happy to see you take the lip sync tonight as a chance to redeem yourself. It's a good attitude to have so good luck.
But if I can return to Charlie for a minute, the work you did on Tracer's outfit looks wonderful, but I'm not judging you on Tracer's outfit. If you had put this much effort into your own outfit, you wouldn't have been in the bottom tonight. In fact, you could have been in the top. Remember that going forwards. Next up, Scarlet Witch in the library with the candlestick. Looking at this look, I wouldn't have believed that you had access to the same materials as the other queens.
There are 3 witchy queens on the main stage tonight. And yet you managed to stand out for all the right reasons. I also love the little markings on your dress. What exactly are they?
These are runes. I wanted to really bring the magical side of my drag into this look, and I felt like these were such a big part of it.
Well, that's what we asked of you in the challenge, to bring your background into your look tonight, and I really don't think anyone took that to heart quite like you.
I definitely feel like I know a lot about you, and I can't wait to see more of you in this competition.
Last, and probably in this instance least, Lucy.
So first off, I love the shape of the garment. To me, it says that you know how to at least put an outfit together. What I don't love is that there's a lot going on with this look. It feels like everything is just thrown together without any design there. The colors don't match or mesh together in any way. And I feel like there's too much going on for me to rest my eye on. My focus just kind of darts around, and I don't really like what I see every time it lands. There are some good ideas here and there, but none of them are brought to completion.
Looking at your audition tape, I saw that you are a designer, and I loved some of the outfits you showed me. So my question is, what happened here tonight?
This isn't the type of drag I would normally serve. I had my outfit planned out and I started working on it, but then when I got close to the end, I found out that I had less than I needed. But I am 99% sure that I had planned everything out right, and I had all the materials I needed, so I'm not quite sure
Let me stop you right there because all I'm hearing are excuses. Everyone here was given the same materials, and everyone else managed to come up with a concept. Everyone here managed to show off their style of drag. Everyone else here adapted to the challenge, which is what the next drag superstar needs to be able to do to succeed.
I definitely feel like you placed yourself inside a box and got in your head this week. You won't always have access to the materials and resources you require, so you need to be able to work with what you've got. If you get to the end and you need to change something, improvise, make it work. There's enough of the original product here to help me visualize what you were going for, and it looks nice. I feel like if you had actually taken stuff off once you realized your original idea, wouldn't have worked instead of still trying to add stuff on it would have looked so much better.
Alright, sluts. Well, you go and tuck the judges and I will deliberate.
The safe queens enter untucked. Lilith raises her glass and says here's to making it past week 1, and the rest of the queens raise their glass and shout cheers.
Well, I've been waiting for someone else to ask it, but if no one's going to, I will. Does anyone here feel like they should have been in the top this week?
I was really gagged that I was called safe this week. I had one of the best outfits of the night with a really unique concept, and I definitely feel like I should be up on stage over some of those girls.
I can tell Flarion's pressed that they're not in the top this week. I'll agree the outfit's nice, but they just need to accept that some of the other outfits were, well, better.
Okay, well, next question. Does anyone else feel like someone should have been in the bottom this week?
You.
Oh, okay. She's either brave or a total idiot. Let's find out.
This look is so simple, so bland, there's nothing of substance there.
You mean like your music?
Well, I do have to admit, Tanya, you know I love you, but I did kinda expect to see you in the bottom this episode.
I do admit it's quite a bit on the simple side, but at the end of the day, it looks nice, and I think it's very you, which is what the challenge called for, so I can see why you were called safe.
Well, thank you, Miss Congeniality. But to be blunt, I don't really care if y'all think my look is basic, cause at the end of the day, the judges clearly liked it. But if we want to talk about who should have been in the bottom, Miss Takamaki, there's so much glue on that corset the crackheads are probably trying to break in to sniff it. And pizzazz, I couldn't count the amount of holes I can see in your outfit if I had 2 extra pair of hands.
I'm not surprised you don't seem like the kind of person to pass second grade education.
As Pizzazz and Tanya get into it, the tops and bottoms walk into Untucked. Beatrice laughs, saying that the atmosphere in here is so tense they must have missed something. Before she has a chance to ask any follow-up questions, Lilith asks the queens what the judges said.
Well, I am definitely lip-syncing tonight.
Well, you did basically offer.
Haha. I was just taking Gojo's advice to heart.
What advice?
In the workroom, he encouraged me not to take Charlie's help, as it would just suggest I couldn't make it in this competition on my own merits, and by lip-syncing I could prove that I deserve my spot here.
Well, that just sounds to me like he saw an opportunity to sabotage a strong competitor and took it.
He was just looking out for me, and once I heard him, I realized he was right.
If Tracer walked out there in a dress she hadn't made, the judges would have read her to filth, so it would have been more beneficial for him to stay silent. In fact, his actions probably helped Charlie stay out of the bottom, because she probably wouldn't have even had an outfit.
You know, I saw you and the Good Girl Squad help Charlie on her outfit. Was that brought up on the runway?
Charlie and Alexis stay quiet while Evil Lynn shakes her head at the other girls, telling them no, it wasn't, and states that they only helped Charlie catch up to the other queens and that she made 90% of the actual dress herself. Flareon asks Gojo why he didn't tell Charlie not to accept any help, and Gojo responds that he didn't pay attention to anything that didn't happen at his own workbench, which Pizzazz yells is convenient. Alexis tells the other girls that Charlie had already helped out so much that it was only fair they help her in return.
Well, it was her own decision to be kind in a competitive setting. If you ask me, by helping her, you're just enabling her.
Charlie isn't the only queen being enabled.
I assure you, my actions had Tracer's best intentions at heart. But if Tracer does go home in the lip sync tonight, I won't lose any sleep over it.
I mean, honestly, Tracer, I just kind of feel like you got away with doing nothing this episode, while the judges basically gave me a lecture for not trying hard enough.
I'm quite literally lip-syncing tonight. How is that getting away with anything?
I just feel like the judges were way more lenient with you because of your legendary status, but in reality they should have been harder on you because you really should have been able to make your own outfit by this point.
Personally, Lucy, I think the judges just appreciate Tracer acknowledging her mistake and owning up to it, while, if I'm being fully honest, I do feel you were hiding behind excuses with your outfit.
Lucy looks pressed and is about to say something when the queens are cut off by their 5-minute warning. Everyone sits around in silence for a few seconds.
So, Tracer, you gotta learn your words? Or is Charlie going to do that for you too?
As the bottom 3 go to learn the lip-sync song, Charlie goes up to Lucy and asks her if she's okay. Lucy says yeah, and she's sorry for lashing out. She just feels shit-bottoming for a design challenge of all things and doesn't want to be the first out. Charlie tells her she's an amazing drag queen and she knows she has more to show. Besides most drag race seasons nowadays, the first episode isn't an elimination episode.
Welcome back, queens. I've made some decisions. Scarlet Witch. Congratulations, you are the winner of this week's challenge. Beatrice, Evelyn, Alexis, you're safe. Good job this week.
Oh my god, I'm the first winner. this feels amazing. This is the slap in the face to the other queens that I needed.
Charlie Morningstar, this week you did some amazing work. For the wrong queen, you're safe. Step it up next week. That means Tracer and Lucy. I'm sorry, my dears, but you are up for elimination. Prior to tonight, you were asked to prepare a lip sync performance to Over You, performed by yours truly. Good luck and don't fuck it up.
This is the moment I've waited for. I'm ready to prove to everyone I deserve my spot here.
I'm not going home. Start the music, I'm going to bring it all I've got.
Lucy had a good lip sync. Tracer slayed the lip sync.
Ladies, I've made my decision. Tracer Shantae, you stay.
While the Night Queen of Night City is logging off.
Lucy, wait. It's the other exit, sweetheart. Yep, that's it, there you go.
This is not how I saw my drag race journey going, but at the end of the day, I still got here, so I have that to be proud of, I guess. It sucks to go home first, but hey. I was hoping I could think of something to say, but there's nothing. How much you think these trophies go for on eBay?